America has always been a land of small towns. These places built our country. They were the heart of farming, mining, and railroads. But today, many small towns are dying. People are leaving. Businesses are closing. Schools are shutting down. Why is this happening? Several big reasons are hurting small towns across America. Young people leave for college and never come back. Jobs move to bigger cities. Farmers use machines instead of hiring workers. Mining companies close when resources run out. The numbers tell a sad story. Over 80% of rural counties had more deaths than births between 2019 and 2023. Most small towns are losing people every year. Scientists predict that thousands of American cities could become ghost towns by 2100. What makes a town disappear? It starts slowly. A factory closes. Young families move away. The school loses students. Local shops can't stay open. Soon only older people remain. When they pass away, the town dies with them. Some towns fight back. They try new ideas to bring people back. But fighting the decline is very hard. It takes money, planning, and lots of help from outside. Today, we'll look at 7 towns that might not last until 2030. These places show us what happens when America forgets its small communities. But we'll also see 2 towns that found ways to stay alive. Their stories give us hope. Sheffield, Pennsylvania. Sheffield sits in a quiet corner of Pennsylvania. Tall trees surround this small town near the Allegheny National Forest. Once it was busy with logging and manufacturing. Now it's slowly dying. The biggest problem in Sheffield is age. Nearly twice as many people died as were born in recent years in Warren County, where Sheffield is located. Most young people leave after high school. They go to college or find jobs in bigger cities. The ones who stay are mostly older folks. Walk through Sheffield today and you'll see the signs of decline everywhere. The local bank branch closed. The liquor store shut down. The beloved Johnny Appleseed Festival ended because there weren't enough volunteers or money. Even the churches struggle. Many don't have full-time priests or pastors anymore. Lee Goldthwait runs the Sheffield Cemetery. He's busier than ever digging new graves. We already lost our bank, he says sadly. He wonders how the town will survive when so many people are dying and so few babies are being born. The school tells Sheffield's story best. In 1980, Sheffield Area Middle Senior High School had about 600 students. Now it has just 224. When schools close, towns die. Everyone in Sheffield knows this truth. Sheffield also lost its ambulance service. Now people wait longer when they have heart attacks or accidents. The town contracts with a private company, but it takes more time for help to arrive. Doug Kennedy from the local funeral home says he's seen more people die at home since the ambulance service ended. Jobs are scarce too. Sheffield Container, one of the town's biggest employers, only has 25 workers. The average pay is $18 per hour. That's not enough to support a family or attract young workers. The daycare center closed in 2022. Enrollment dropped from 40 children in the 1980s and 1990s to just 8 children. Ann Mitchell, who ran the center, looked at the empty room filled with old toys and blankets. "I think Sheffield is slowly dying," she said. "But I like to be positive and think there is still some hope." But hope is hard to find. Pennsylvania will lose another 6% of its rural population by 2050. Warren County, where Sheffield is located, will see double-digit population declines. For Sheffield, time is running out. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia is perhaps America's most famous dying town. It's been burning underground since 1962. What started as a small fire became a disaster that destroyed an entire community. The fire began at the town dump. It spread to an underground coal mine. The coal seams caught fire and kept burning. Smoke and dangerous gases started coming up through the ground. The earth became hot and unsafe. At first, people didn't want to leave. Centralia was their home. They had lived there for generations. Once home to over 1,000 residents, Centralia's decline was slow but inevitable. Families held out for decades as homes were condemned, their neighbors disappearing one by one. The government tried to stop the fire. They dug trenches. They pumped water underground. Nothing worked. The fire just kept spreading. Scientists said it could burn for 250 more years. By the 1980s, the air was too dangerous to breathe. Children got sick from the gases. The ground cracked open. Houses tilted and broke apart. The government finally said everyone had to leave. In 1992, the state of Pennsylvania claimed the remaining properties under eminent domain, sealing the town's fate. Most people took the money and moved away. They left behind their homes, their memories, and their community. Today, eerie graffiti-covered highways and steaming earth remain as haunting reminders of a once thriving town now lost to an inferno that may burn for centuries. Only a handful of holdouts remain, refusing to leave despite the desolation. The few people still living in Centralia are very old. They refuse to move even though their town is gone. When they die, Centralia will finally be empty. The fire will keep burning underground, but no one will be there to see it. Centralia shows how quickly a disaster can destroy a town. But most dying towns face a slower death. They lose people one by one over many years. The end result is the same: myths, empty houses, closed businesses, and forgotten communities. Spring Valley and Paradise, Nevada. Nevada has some of America's fastest shrinking towns. Two suburbs of Las Vegas show how quickly places can empty out. Spring Valley and Paradise were built during the gambling boom. Now they're losing people fast. Spring Valley, Nevada saw the largest one-year population decline at 10.14%. The total population decreased from 220,707 in 2022 to 198,326 in 2023. That's more than 22,000 people gone in just 1 year. Paradise, Nevada is even worse. Paradise saw the largest 5-year decline in population at -26.77%. It lost nearly 65,000 residents between 2018 and 2023, going from 242,266 to 177,413. Why are people leaving so fast? Several reasons hurt these desert communities. The COVID-19 pandemic made many people rethink where they lived. High housing costs pushed families to move to cheaper states. Remote work meant people could live anywhere. Nevada's economy depends heavily on tourism and gambling. When fewer people visit Las Vegas, jobs disappear. The entertainment industry struggled during the pandemic. Many workers lost their jobs and couldn't find new ones. The heat is another problem. Nevada's summers are getting hotter because of climate change. Some people can't stand the extreme temperatures anymore. They move to cooler places. Water is scarce in the desert. Nevada gets very little rain. The Colorado River, which supplies much of the state's water, is running low. People worry about water shortages in the future. These desert towns were built quickly during good times. They have new houses and shopping centers. But when the economy changes, people leave just as fast as they came. The towns that seemed so successful suddenly become empty. Paradise and Spring Valley might not disappear completely. They're close to Las Vegas, so they have some advantages. But their rapid population loss shows how fragile modern communities can be. When people lose confidence in a place, they leave quickly. The lesson from Nevada is clear. Towns that depend on one industry are at risk. When that industry struggles, the whole community suffers. Diversifying the economy helps, but it's hard to do quickly enough. Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson is different from other towns on our list. It's a big city and the capital of Mississippi. But Jackson is losing people so fast that it might not be able to function as a state capital by 2030. Jackson saw a decline of approximately 12.7% in its population from 2017 to 2022. It most recently housed 146,019 residents. The city is shrinking every year. Young families are moving to the suburbs or leaving Mississippi completely. Several problems hurt Jackson. The city has serious water problems. Old pipes break often. Sometimes the whole city runs out of clean water. People get scared when they can't trust the water coming from their taps. Crime is another big issue. Jackson has one of the highest murder rates in America. People don't feel safe walking downtown or sending their kids to local schools. When families don't feel safe, they move away. The schools struggle too. Many Jackson schools have poor test scores. Parents who can afford it send their children to private schools or move to suburbs with better public schools. This makes the city schools even weaker. Jobs are leaving Jackson as well. Big companies don't want to locate in a city with crime problems and bad infrastructure. State government provides some jobs, but it's not enough to support the whole city. Hurricane damage made things worse. Jackson was hit hard by Hurricane Ida. Storms cause flooding and destroy buildings. The city doesn't have enough money to fix everything quickly. The tax base keeps shrinking. When people and businesses leave, the city collects less money. With less money, it can't fix the water system, improve schools, or hire enough police officers. This creates a cycle of decline that's hard to break. Jackson's problems show what happens when cities can't provide basic services. Water, safety, and education are essential. Without them, people will leave no matter how much history or culture a place has. Mississippi's state government might have to move the capital to another city. This would be a huge blow to Jackson's identity and economy. A state capital brings jobs, tourism, and prestige. Losing that status would make Jackson's decline even worse. The question for Jackson is whether it can fix its basic problems before it's too late. The city has smart people and rich history, but time is running short to turn things around. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit was once America's fourth largest city. It was the heart of the automobile industry. Cars made Detroit rich and powerful, but those days are long gone. Today, Detroit is a shadow of its former self. In Detroit, the population decreased 7.8% since 2017, with 620,410 residents in 2022. The city has lost more than half its population since 1950. Entire neighborhoods sit empty. What happened to Detroit? The auto industry changed. Companies moved factories to other countries where workers cost less money. Japan and Germany built better cars that Americans wanted to buy. Detroit's car companies lost billions of dollars. When the factories closed, hundreds of thousands of jobs disappeared. Workers had to leave Detroit to find new jobs. They took their families and their spending power with them. Local stores and restaurants closed because they had no customers. The city government couldn't handle the crisis. With fewer people paying taxes, Detroit didn't have enough money to provide basic services. Street lights went out. Police response times got longer. Fire stations closed. Parks became unsafe. Schools suffered the most. Detroit's public schools became some of the worst in America. Test scores were terrible. Buildings fell apart. Teachers left for better jobs in other districts. Parents who could afford it moved to the suburbs or sent their kids to private schools. Crime increased as the economy collapsed. Drug dealing and violence made many neighborhoods dangerous. People were afraid to walk outside at night. Businesses didn't want to operate in unsafe areas. Housing became a major problem. As people left, houses sat empty. Vacant houses attract crime and drag down property values. The city had to tear down thousands of abandoned buildings. Whole blocks became empty lots. Detroit tried to reinvent itself. The city promoted art, technology, and urban farming. Some neighborhoods started to improve. Young people moved downtown to take advantage of cheap rent and new opportunities. But the recovery has been slow and uneven. Most of Detroit still struggles with the same old problems. The population keeps dropping. Many experts doubt the city can ever return to its former size and importance. Time is running out for Detroit. The city has some bright spots, but they're not enough to save the whole place. By 2030, Detroit might be half the size it is today. What was once America's arsenal of democracy could become just another Rust Belt ghost town. Elgin, Illinois. Elgin, Illinois surprised everyone by appearing on the list of declining cities. It's not a rural farm town or former mining community. Elgin is a suburb of Chicago with over 100,000 people. Yet it lost population faster than almost anywhere else in 2022. While this city has a 5-year population decline of 4.2%, Elgin saw the highest one-year population decline. Residents dropped to 109,634 in 2022 from 117,850 just a year prior. That's more than 8,000 people gone in just 1 year. Elgin's decline shows that even suburban towns near big cities can lose people quickly. Several factors hurt Elgin. High property taxes make it expensive to own a home there. Illinois has some of the highest taxes in the country. The COVID-19 pandemic changed how people think about where to live. Many workers started working from home. They didn't need to live near Chicago anymore. They could move to cheaper states like Texas or Florida. Illinois politics also push people away. The state has budget problems and corruption scandals. People lose confidence in their government. They worry about their taxes going up or their services getting cut. Manufacturing jobs disappeared from Elgin over the years. The town used to have big factories that employed thousands of workers. When those factories closed or moved to other countries, many families had to leave to find work. The weather doesn't help either. Illinois winters are long and cold. When people can work from anywhere, many choose warmer places to live. The pandemic made remote work normal, so this trend accelerated. Elgin tried to attract new residents. The city worked to improve downtown and create entertainment districts. But it's hard to compete with states that have lower taxes, better weather, and more job opportunities. The lesson from Elgin is that even successful suburban communities can decline quickly when conditions change. Location near a big city helps, but it's not enough if other problems exist. Towns need good schools, reasonable taxes, safe streets, and economic opportunities to keep people from leaving. Elgin might recover if it can solve its tax and safety problems. Being near Chicago gives it advantages that rural towns don't have. But the city needs to act fast before more families decide to leave. East Los Angeles, California. East Los Angeles might seem like an unlikely place for population decline. It's part of the Los Angeles area, one of America's biggest cities. But this community has been losing people steadily for years. East LA reported a population reduction of roughly 10.0% in the last 5 years. The 2022 census showed 112,965 residents, with men slightly outnumbering women at 51.7%. This decline surprised many people because California cities usually grow. Several problems hurt East Los Angeles. Housing costs became too expensive for many families. Even though incomes in East LA are lower than other parts of Los Angeles, housing prices kept going up. Working families couldn't afford to stay. The COVID-19 pandemic hit East LA especially hard. Many residents work in restaurants, hotels, and other service jobs that disappeared during lockdowns. People lost their jobs and couldn't pay rent. Some had to move in with relatives or leave the area entirely. Crime became a bigger problem too. Gang violence and drug activity made some streets dangerous. Parents worried about their children's safety going to school or playing outside. When families don't feel safe, they look for somewhere else to live. Traffic and pollution are constant problems in East LA. The community sits near several major freeways. Air quality is poor, which causes health problems. The noise and smog make it an unpleasant place to live. Schools in East LA struggle with overcrowding and low test scores. Many buildings are old and need repairs. Parents who can afford it send their kids to private schools or move to areas with better public schools. The job market is limited. Most jobs in East LA are low-paying service work. Young people often leave to find better opportunities in other parts of California or other states. Without good jobs, it's hard to keep families in the community. Immigration patterns are changing too. East LA has traditionally been a place where new immigrants start their lives in America. But now fewer immigrants are coming to California. They're going to states with lower costs of living instead. City services are stretched thin. With less tax money coming in, the city can't maintain parks, fix roads, or provide enough police protection. When basic services decline, people lose confidence in their community. East LA has a rich culture and strong community ties. Many families have lived there for generations. But economic pressures are forcing people to leave. If trends continue, East LA could lose another 20% of its population by 2030. The lesson from East LA is that even urban areas can decline when housing becomes too expensive and jobs don't pay enough. California's high cost of living is pushing working families out of communities they've called home for decades. Humboldt, Kansas. Not every small town in America is dying. Some places are finding ways to bring people back and create new opportunities. Humboldt, Kansas shows how a small community can fight decline and maybe even grow. Humboldt is a town of just under 2,000 people, about 100 miles southwest from Kansas City. Like many rural towns, it was losing population. Young people left for college and jobs in bigger cities. Businesses closed, the future looked grim, but a group of local residents decided to fight back. They started the Honey Bee Brunchery, a small restaurant that brought urban energy to their small town. Paul Cloutier, one of the organizers, says it has vibrant, kind of creative, bright urban energy in a small town that you never really expect to see. What makes Humboldt different? First, the community worked together. Instead of complaining about problems, residents organized to solve them. They didn't wait for the government or outside companies to save their town. Second, they focused on quality of life. They made Humboldt a more interesting and enjoyable place to live. Good restaurants, entertainment, and community events make people want to stay and attract new residents. Third, they're realistic about their limits. Humboldt faces challenges like housing shortages and limited job opportunities. They know they can't grow too big too fast. But they're making steady progress. Kansas has launched programs to help towns like Humboldt. The state created the Office of Rural Prosperity to invest in housing and attract new residents. They offer to pay off student loan debt for people who fill specific jobs in small towns. The program tries to create a culture where young people feel welcomed in rural communities. If small towns can keep their young adults, they have a better chance of survival and growth. Remote work helps too. The pandemic showed that many jobs can be done from anywhere. People can now live in small towns while working for companies in big cities. This opens up new possibilities for places like Humboldt. Humboldt still faces big challenges. The town has a housing shortage, but not enough demand for new homes. The local economy is limited. Weather and distance from cities make it hard to attract some people. But Humboldt proves that small towns don't have to just accept decline. With leadership, community cooperation, and smart planning, even small rural places can create a better future. The key lessons from Humboldt are simple. Work together as a community. Focus on making your town a good place to live. Be realistic about challenges, but don't give up. And remember that small changes can add up to big improvements over time. Whether Humboldt will still be thriving in 2030 depends on many factors, but they've shown that fighting decline is possible. Their story gives hope to other small towns across America. Madison, Wisconsin. While many American towns are struggling, some places are doing very well. Madison, Wisconsin stands out as a city that's not just surviving instead, it's thriving. Madison shows what happens when a town gets the basics right. Madison has been named the least likely U.S. city to become a ghost town. The city boasts a homeowner vacancy rate of just 0.3%, which is 91% below the national average. Its rental vacancy rate of 2.5% is the third lowest in the country. These numbers show that people want to live there and stay there. What makes Madison so successful? Several factors work together to create a strong, growing community. First, Madison is home to the University of Wisconsin. Universities bring jobs, students, and economic activity that help stabilize local economies. The university employs thousands of people in good-paying jobs. Professors, researchers, administrators, and support staff all need places to live. Students spend money on housing, food, and entertainment. Graduates often stay in the area to start careers and families. Education creates a cycle of success. Smart, educated people attract businesses that need skilled workers. These businesses provide good jobs that keep people in the community. More jobs mean more tax money for schools, parks, and other services that make a place attractive to live. Madison also has a diverse economy. While the university is important, the city doesn't depend on just one industry. Healthcare, technology, insurance, and government all provide jobs. When one sector struggles, others can pick up the slack. The city government in Madison works well. They provide good services like police, fire protection, and road maintenance. The water system works reliably. Schools are well funded and have good test scores. These basics matter a lot when people decide where to live. Madison attracts young people and keeps them. College graduates often stay after finishing school. The city has a young, energetic feel that appeals to people starting their careers. Young families find good schools and safe neighborhoods for their children. The city also does well with older residents. Healthcare is excellent with a major medical center. Cultural activities and lifelong learning opportunities keep retirees engaged. Many people choose to age in place rather than moving to warmer states. Business development is strong in Madison. The city works to attract new companies while supporting existing ones. Technology startups often spin off from university research. This creates an innovation ecosystem that generates good jobs. Transportation connections help too. Madison is within driving distance of Milwaukee and Chicago. This gives residents access to big city opportunities while living in a smaller, more manageable community. Madison proves that success is possible for American cities. It takes good leadership, smart planning, and community cooperation. But the results speak for themselves: low vacancy rates, population growth, and a high quality of life. The key lesson from Madison is that cities need multiple strengths: universities, diverse economies, good government, and quality of life all work together. No single factor guarantees success, but getting several things right creates a strong foundation. Madison will likely continue growing through 2030 and beyond. The city has built a sustainable model that adapts to changing conditions while maintaining its core strengths. The future of small-town America. The stories of these 9 communities show us the complex challenges facing American towns and cities. From Pennsylvania's aging Sheffield to Wisconsin's thriving Madison, each place has lessons to teach us about survival and decline in modern America. What separates the towns that might survive from those that won't? Several key factors make the difference between life and death for American communities. Jobs come first. Towns need diverse economies with good-paying work. Places that depend on one industry face big risks when that industry changes. Mining towns suffer when resources run out. Manufacturing towns struggle when factories move overseas. But places with universities, hospitals, and various businesses can weather economic storms better. By 2030, we'll likely see several towns on our list become ghost towns or merge with other communities. But we may also see surprising recoveries in places that find new purposes and populations. The story of America's towns is still being written. Some chapters are ending, but new ones are beginning. The towns that survive will be those that embrace change while holding on to what makes them special places to call home. Understanding these patterns helps us make better choices about where to live, work, and invest. It also reminds us that communities require constant care and attention to remain healthy and vibrant. The fate of America's small towns affects us all. These places shaped our history, culture, and values. Whether they survive or disappear will help determine what kind of country America becomes in the decades ahead.